Grant, can you elaborate on some of the Trey packages and personnel you saw? Colin saw in camp. What was the funnest thing you saw with Trey in camp? Okay, I can't do that. But I'll be general here. I think when people think about the Trey Lance package, they're mostly thinking about the zone read, and that's part of it. And it's a very important element of having a mobile quarterback, and they're going to do it. But to me, the reason that he's more exciting than your typical spread offense, zone read, mobile quarterback is play action. He was under center in college. He has the ability to make Matthew Stafford level throws off play action. Like you see how the Rams changed when they went from Jared Goff to Matthew Stafford. They went from a horizontal passing offense, a lot of outs and ins and quick stuff within 10, 15 yards of the line of scrimmage, to play action bomb, play action roll half right, throw back to the left. I mean, 60-yard throw, stuff you wouldn't even call for Jared Goff or Jimmy Garoppolo. I think Trey Lance is going to have that Matthew Stafford-esque. I mean, he's not going to be as good as Stafford at first, but that kind of Matthew Stafford-esque effect on the play-action passing game. And then he can also do the zone read too, which is just murder on defenses. So that's what I expect.
Yeah, that would be an exciting thing to watch on Sunday. I mean, there's potential there. There's at least the hope that this offense could start to ignite in the way we hoped it all would.
Shots down the field. They don't take them in the Jimmy Garoppolo offense. If you're building your offense around the run game and play action, you're building your offense to take shots. And you saw how that has helped the Rams, and that was the idea here. If they had Matthew Stafford here, that's what they would be doing. So
yes.
Again, the second throw of the preseason was the long touchdown to Sherfield, play action roll left, throw back right. I expect to see a whole lot of stuff like that because he's not super efficient and accurate on the short stuff. So let him bomb it down the field. If he completes 44% of his throws past 20 yards downfield, he's a hell of a downfield thrower. I mean, that's like completing 44% of your threes. So let him do that, please.
Yeah, and reintroduce Brandon Ayuk to this offense.
And Sherfield too. I like Sherfield too. Grant, totes with you. 49ers overvalued as Super Bowl team. I think John and Kyle have outsmarted themselves into mediocrity. Oh my God.
I agree that what they have done within the quarterback situation has taken what looked to be a very talented team that was capable of making it deep into the postseason and dashing those hopes because they have, to this point, handled it very poorly.
What's the word on Kittle and Trey? Noticed on Trey's scrambles, Kittle walked back and didn't acknowledge Trey's play, not keen on a running quarterback. That's really interesting. I'm glad you saw that. Today, Trey Lance spoke to the press, and he hasn't given a good answer yet as a member of the 49ers. He's not a jerk. He's just a kid trying hard not to say the wrong thing. So he said he learned a lot of stuff from his previous game against the Seahawks. So, I said, okay, Trey, name one thing you learned. And he smiled. He's like, you got me. And he gave me something. He's like, the checkdowns. Like, the checkdowns are there. I have to hit the checkdowns, which was just a phenomenal answer. Thank you, Trey. I appreciate it. The check down a lot of those times was Kittle. And you could see him being like doing the YMCA dance and then not getting the ball and him being like, is this what this is going to be like? I get it. I mean, George Kittle is an all-pro, and now his production depends on the scrambler. It's scary. And he's not playing this week. But Kittle, get on board, man. He's got to improve. Debo's in his corner. Debo got a 70-something yard touchdown from Trey last week. So maybe you could be that guy too if you're just a little more enthusiastic. But yeah, I think that's what it is. The checkdowns.
Kittle's had an interesting attitude this entire season. I mean, it feels as if he wants to prove something, but that there's frustration bubbling to the surface because to this point, he's not been able to show what he wants to.
Right. This guy says this is the best week to start Lance. If he plays well, give him an extra week of practice. If he doesn't, it will give Jimmy an extra week to get better. Yeah, it's just so obvious. If Trey struggles, you can be like, well, he was just filling in. I mean, Jimmy's coming back. It's no big deal. Don't overreact.
Yeah. Don't overreact to being 3 games out of first place in the NFC West.
Losing streak. It was all part of the plan. Would it be surprising if Kyle doesn't run a Trey schemed offense? I can really see him still holding back on opening up the playbook. Yeah, if he wants to be criticized nationally and locally, that would be the move.
I would be shocked if that happened.
Oh, I mean, I would enjoy it. I would have a very fun post game rant for sure. Ross the boss is going to have a monster game. Is George pulling a Jimmy? Conspiracy George is upset the 21-year-old rookie is starting. It's funny how many Niner fans are on the same page here. George, I don't know. I don't know what was going through George's head. So, George, you see what they think of you. Why don't you come back and prove them wrong? That's all I can say. Prove them wrong, George.
George needs to come out and really support Lance after this game. Win, lose, or draw. That's for sure.
Because so far, people are coming around. Debo Samuel gave him a big vote of confidence today. Trent Williams, big vote of confidence yesterday. Kyle Shanahan, Mike McDaniel. I think it's really George is the last one. I'm not saying he won't, but he's the last one this time.
Agreed.
Look for big improvement out of Trey. Mentally was not ready last out, yet threw for 2 TDs. Grant, you saw him in camp. He will be ready. Upset 31. Here's the thing. I like that. What I saw from Trey is a guy who missed his first throw almost every day in camp. So when he missed that throw, that first one poorly, at the feet of Kittle against the Seahawks, I was like, yes, that's Trey Lance. There he is. But I've never seen Trey Lance get a full game. I mean, in practice, you get like 15 throws. In a game, you get about 30. And it's 3 hours, and there's a lot of adrenaline, and then it wears off, and you get knocked around, and you gotta adjust, and you gotta soldier through it. And I'd like to see how he does that, because we've only really seen here's a quarter. Go impress everyone. It's like, okay, let's see how you do over a full game. Maybe he's clutch. Maybe he's great in the fourth quarter. We don't even know that.
Yeah, he has the opportunity to get the nerves out initially, miss those early throws, and still have time to catch his rhythm in a full game.
Honest opinion of who wins? Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for predictions.
Do you think Trey has those starting jitters like we have seen, or will those 2 quarters from last week help him out? I think he's going to have starting jitters for a while. He didn't play in front of 60,000 people in college. He played at North Dakota State. There was like 7 people in the stands. 3 of them were in his family. The other 4 were on his, were from his dorm. So it's a different thing. And I think we saw the same thing from Derek Carr when he came from Fresno State. He was way overamped at the beginning of games, but it's a 3-hour game. You calm down, usually.
Yeah, it's going to be a wildly different experience for him in that dome against Arizona. That is going to be a ruckus crowd.
Oh, my God. Can you describe the ruckus, sir?
Oh, it is a loud stadium. The Cardinals are not a team that expected to be 4-0 at this point. I know, having talked to many Cardinals fans, they still thought that this was going to be a year of progression, not of we've arrived. But now at 4-0, these fans are riding high. They are going to be tailgating, and they will be amped up.
Thoughts on Kyle being reluctant on changing quarterbacks? He didn't want to pull the trigger from CJ to Jimmy at first either. That's a good point. I think Kyle is big on taking it slow with quarterbacks. He wanted to go real slow with Kirk Cousins. He resented having to play Robert Griffin right away. I think he thinks he's just old school, man. He's his dad. And the way you did it in the 80s and the 90s was you took years developing guys. You don't do that anymore, because you're actually trying to get something out of these quarterbacks while they're on their rookie deal. There's a whole different financial incentive here. Plus, it's easier to play quarterback now because you can't touch them anymore. Anyway, Kyle's old school.
Old school with an overly complex offensive system. So those two combine to be a very tough situation for a rookie. But you've touched on what Kyle needs to come around to, which is this money game that is being played with quarterbacks on their rookie deals. You have to be able to capitalize on that. And if that means changing your offense to suit this rookie, then that's what you need to do as a quality head coach.
Yeah, it's such a huge loophole. It's such a big advantage to winning in the NFL that they should change the rules. And until they do, every team needs to be on this. Should we trade for a running back at the trade deadline? If so, who could? No.
Only one I'd be happy about would be Matt Breida, because I don't think it would take much to get him back in the building, and he's shown he can be productive within the system.
That's creative. I like that. You could also just sign Todd Gurley.
Right.